Ladies and gentlemen, we have tasted victory, and it tastes like a Sonic the Hedgehog ice cream bar with gumball eyes. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is TastyRC, and today we got a first place deck profile for you. And this was for the Nightmare Colosseum. I believe this is like the 4th or 5th one. I've lost track at this point. Hosted by Nightmare in the Digimon Trading Card Game 2020 Discord server. This was 22 entrants that showed up, so pretty decent. And there was a good number of top players, and there was like some really good opponents that are really great. Like we had a Beaver in there. You know, we got Beaver, we got Void in there. We had Tessero, the man himself, Orange Swim. So it was some good opponents up in there, and it was a fun tournament for sure. So shout out to him. Make sure to join the Discord if you're ever interested in participating in that. But let's go ahead and get to why we're all here. This first place deck profile. So I did run a booster set 4 green, and this tournament lets you use booster set 5 cards. I submitted my deck list, and Nightmare was even like, yo, bro, just make sure you can use booster set 5 cards in here. I was like, bro, I know, don't worry. I don't need them. Like, booster set 4 green is just so busted. The power level on green, hidden potential discovered, was a mistake. This card was a mistake, but if there's a ban list, I hope it's the first thing to go. So yeah, I won using this card, not a single booster set 5 card, which green doesn't have all of its reveals from booster set 5 yet anyways. So let's go ahead and see what I did. So first of all, let's go over my ratios. I ran 16 rookies to start off with, so like that's a lot. That is like the upper maximum that you should be running, and I did want to max out on them because the draws in green are crucial. Like I need that first turn Digivolution, that first turn draw to make sure I can keep the stack going, make sure I have it ready to go into quickly if I need to bring out Hercules Kabutari, or if I need to bring out Nidhogg for the board wipe or get rid of a threat. I just want to make sure I always have that first turn draw. And then since 2 of them, or rather 8 of them, are the 2 play ones, they let you go cheap to they let you go wide cheaply as bodies for hidden potential discovered to use with, or to memory choke with if you're like at 1 and stuff like that. As for the rest of the ratios, they're pretty standard. 12 champions, I believe, is like basically everyone agrees on this ratio. Then I ran only 8 ultimates, so sometimes it is debated between 8 to 9. I like both numbers. It depends on the color playstyle and the build I want to build. I was testing this, so I tested this deck for at least close to 2 months, like month and a half. I tested this deck a lot in that time period. So this is, in my opinion, for me at least, this is the most consistent green build for me. And even then, I would still make some adjustments. So maybe it's not, I shouldn't be saying that, but I ran 9 alternates, and I feel like I would brick way too much on that, so I cut it down to 8. The bare essentials, the download package. Then we got 7 megas. That's more than I usually like to run. I usually only run 6 at the absolute maximum. But because Nidhoggmon is such an incredible board wipe, and Hercules Kabutarimon himself is such a powerful card and momentum swinger, I didn't want to cut too short on either of them. I wanted to make sure I see both of them eventually. So the only thing I would maybe be tempted to cut Nidhogg down to 2, but that's a discussion for later. And then 3 Chaosmon, 2 of the Piercing one, and 1 of the Volder Arm, the Digivolves from Yellow. So Volder Arm, we'll get to them in their section later. We'll break down the positives of both and why I ran them and what I would actually change. And then, of course, 4 hidden potential discovered. I will also break down why 4 in a second. So let's start with the babies. So I ran 4 Modimon. So I didn't see a lot of people running Modimon at the beginning of Booster Set 4, or even when the structure decks were out before Booster Set 4 came out. But this egg is amazing because your turn, while this Digimon is level 6 or higher, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. So oftentimes when you're swinging at security anyways, you are going to be waiting until you're at Mega or higher because you don't want to lose your stuff to security. So this guy is almost always live for me. I very rarely ever have moments where it's like, wow, I wish I had this DP boost earlier so I could have swung at something earlier game. So like if you wanted to run something else like maybe Tantamount so you could get that DP boost earlier, then I would probably add in more ultimates like Lilamon so you could rest earlier and then be able to attack stuff over at a lower level. But otherwise for me, like I always like to wait until I am Mega to do any kind of attacking, especially in this deck with Hercules Kabutarimon, because since he has Pierce, if you do run over something, it's going to go into security anyways. So that's why I like Modimon. I have no problem waiting until I'm a level 6 Mega level Digimon. And then I did want to run 5 just so I have that consistency, that grind game, keep drawing. So the other one that I ran was Argo Mod. If this Digimon becomes active during your active phase, get +1 memory. So this guy is great. He promotes aggro, and this deck is already pretty aggressive. So like if I'm swinging with Hercules Kabutarimon, if it survives my opponent's next turn and it comes back to me, I'm getting a guaranteed extra memory there. This didn't come up in any of the games where I played just because I wasn't really seeing it. I was mostly seeing Modimon since it is only at 1. But when it does, like 1 extra memory can win you the game because your opponent like may not be keeping track and they memory choke you and then not realize that Argomon gives you that 1 extra memory you needed to go into like a blocker or something to survive another turn and stuff like that. So I like this. I tested a 2 of this guy and 3 of this guy split before. I ended up just going with Multimon because I wanted the extra power, but I think either is fine. Argomon's really great, and it really depends what you're going to go for. But since I am an aggressive player in general and want to play more aggressive with this deck specifically too, because it's about running the opponent's Digimons over with Pierce. So I just put him at 1. Then we got the 2 cost, self-explanatory. They're very cheap to play, still free to digivolve into. They help you go wide. They're cheap bodies to use with hidden potential discovered. As much as you could run as a 2-cost champions, you should always do that if your color doesn't have other very good inheritables. So next level 3 we're running was the booster set 3. Booster set 2. Agumon. So this guy, his inheritable effect is your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. So the other option a lot of people decide to run in these kind of decks is the booster set Palmon. Give me 1 second to pull that up for you guys because that's also a great card. We got here booster set our structure deck Palmon. When attacking, you can attack an opponent's Digimon and then you gain plus 2000 DP for the turn when you attack an opponent's Digimon for the when attacking effect. So a lot of people like this card and run it because that boost coupled with Hercules Kabutarimon puts you up really high. And paired with other boosts from the other inheritables, you're able to swing over Omnimons. But the thing for me is that is only when attacking and only for when attacking that Digimon. So the problem with that is if I attack with Hercules Kabutarimon and I pierce, I am checking the actual security for only 12,000. So like say in the mirror, I lose to Nidhogg, or in any other color, I lose to Omnimon, or I trade with like a Blitz Greymon or something like that. So I prefer Agumon because of the 100 being unconditional and it is always there. I prefer the Argomon because it's always there. So this way, like if I have, 1300 DP with him, like that check is going into security as well. So like if I reveal a Blitz Greymon or something, I am living over that where Palmon would have gotten me destroyed, deleted. So that's why it's a personal preference that I like Agumon a little more, but I definitely see the value in Palmon. And if that's what you prefer to run, totally go for it. I think that is also a great call. I think it might be a meta call at the end of the day. A meta call. But yeah, so that's why we run 4 of the Agumons. And then the final rookie we're running for a total of 16 is Tantamount. So this card is amazing. When played, reveal 1 card from the top of your deck. If that card is a green Digimon card, add it to your hand. Put the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this guy is amazing because Argomon, his inheritable, lets you play level 3s from hand. And it doesn't say that their on-play effects don't activate. So you get to play this guy for completely free and still get to search. And this, if you're missing a combo piece, you got it next time. Or you bricked early game, you just play him. Or if you just want to start with that, like you went second and your opponent let you off with 2, you can memory choke them at 1 by playing this 3 cost and get to see the next card you might need or something like that. Because we only have 3 Digimon, they're not green, the odds of whiffing are very low. Because this is 3 plus 4 for a total 7 out of 50 cards that are 35 that are possible to draw into. The odds of it whiffing are very, very low. I literally have only, in all of my testing, like months of testing, including the tournament, I have only whiffed Tantamount, only missed its effect 2 times. So I really like this card as a consistency card. He's great early game if you need to choke, great early game if you brick to unbrick your hand, great late game to give you more board presence and keep steamrolling your opponent with when he's played off of Argomon. I love this card. It's a great consistency card. I definitely recommend it at 4. Definitely you could play with the options, but I felt that in my testing, these were the best in terms of consistency, these 4 rookies. So we go into the ultimates. So like I said, my green build is pure value, pure aggro. So I have Vegemon only because it is a 4 cost to play champion and 1 cost to digivolve into. So typically a champion is 2 cost to digivolve into. Green has a lot of these 1 costs because its gimmick is cheap evolution. So the thing is that it also has 6,000 DP, so like I could swing over other stuff if it's rested for whatever reason. Like if they have like rested, they're other in the mirror, they rested things for HBD, I can swing over it with Vegemon. But it's also just really cheap on play and on cost. So similar to that Palmon, another thing I was debating for the DP boost was the structure deck Togemons. Because it's also a 4 play cost, but the thing is that 2 costs to digivolve into, I just do not want to give them more than 1 memory when digivolving into my champion. Because with this lineup, they are all 1 cost champions. So the opening turn, if I go first, the odds of being able to memory choke them at 1 by digivolving into the 1 cost champion is very, very high because it's all I run are 1 cost champions. But that being able to play, like if I don't see any rookies, but I see this guy or the next card I'm about to review, Roachmon, I could play them onto the field hardcasted and only lose out on so much momentum, barely any, because of their cheap on play cost and their strong, or in the case of Digimon, it's strong DP. So it's good either way. You know, if I brick, it's an out, and if I don't brick, I get a 1-cost champion to memory chuck with. So similar to that, it's the same story with Roachmon. So Roachmon is fantastic. He's a champion with a 3-cost to play and only 1 cost to Digivolve into. So Black had this since set 1, since booster set 2 in Japan. They had Numemon, which was a 3-cost champion and 1 cost to Digivolve into, and now Green also gets that. So I maxed out on this because, like I said, if I brick, if all I have is the champions, I could just play them onto the field, and I really will not lose out on that much momentum because now I've cheated out. I got the ultimate in my hand. I just go into it or whatever. I like that a lot. So Roachmon is fantastic for that. It does have low DP, so like this does make the yellow matchup, which is my most worried matchup, a lot harder because a lot of my stuff gets popped by the DP minusing effects, and Roachmon's an easy target for that. So you got to be careful with that. But I do like it. Very cheap to play because I brick 1 cost to Digivolve into. I don't mind giving up the inheritables that much because yeah, Kabutarimon is a also 1 cost to Digivolve into the booster set 2 one, and he does also give me an inheritable of 1000 DP for every rested Digimon. But the thing is, it's a conditional plus 100 or plus 1000, and it's 6 on play. So like the value of having these cheap costs at a higher level to play in case I brick is way higher to me than the inheritables. Because I'm trying to control the board most of the time, so I would want to outpace them with fast evolution and stuff and not let them get up to things that it can't run over. And then after that, it's just Kabutarimon, 1 cost blocker, and when attacking, lose 2 memory. The typical blocker, except he's a little lower DP, which does make him susceptible to a lot more removal, like Omnimon Alter S, Nidhoggmon, all the stuff like that. But it's worth it because I don't really mind if my blocker doesn't live over whatever it's blocking, as long as it blocked the attack. It's what matters to me. It did its job, and it's another 1 cost to choke them into. So yep, that's that. The champion lineup is pure value, and I definitely recommend if you want to like substitute either one of these for something with a better inheritable effect, definitely go for it. This is just my personal preference. Next up, we get into the ultimate lineup. Again, only running 8, and the star of the ultimate lineup is Argomon. It's a download -3, and then when attacking, you may play 1 level 3 green Digimon from your hand at rest without paying its cost. So the download effect is fantastic because everyone knows how good it is. You get to play it for free, so it's basically a free draw, and you also get to climb up your stack. But it's when attacking is amazing because you get to play a free level 3, and it is at rest, so you're not able to use that card that you play that turn for hidden potential discovered because it's already rested. But in the case of Tantamount, you do get that on play that like helps you draw into your next card, whatever you're missing and stuff. So it's amazing. So now I know some people might wonder like, why don't you play more on play effects to couple with that then? The thing is like I just don't like any other on play effects in green because like Palmon off the top of my head, reveal the top 3 cards, add a level 4 Digimon from among them to your hand, put the rest in your bottom of the deck in any order. So at this point, I'm probably like trying to dig probably to like my top end at that point, or into a hidden potential discovered or something. So Palmon's search would really just whiff a lot of stuff that I needed it to see, and it's why I don't really like it as a card in general, and why I don't run it. So I think the synergy doesn't need to be on play. Just getting that extra body on board for next turn is amazing. So I don't really need too many on play effects to go with it. I just like being able to get that extra Digimon on board, making yellow have to spread its DP minuses out a little further and stuff like that. But yeah, the main thing is the download -3 for the cheap Digivolution, which is why we also run Blossomon. It is also download -3 for the cheap Digivolution, or for the free Digivolution even, I should say. So the ultimate lineup is for pure value. I just want to be able to skip that and go straight into my Mega. So that's why they're there. They're fantastic cards, and I'm probably always going to be running these as ultimates until we get more stuff. Because I will go over alternate tips and tricks, later into the video. But I just didn't feel that the other cards gave me enough value for the Digivolution cost when these guys are basically free. So the Megas. So Megas are pretty standard at this point in green builds. We got Nidhoggmon. Digiburst 4, you may trash any 4 cards from this Digivolution cost to trigger the following effect. Suspend all of your opponent's 5000 DP or less Digimon. Then put all of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their deck in any order. Trash all of their Digivolution cards. So Nidhoggmon is absolutely insane because it is a free board wipe. Coupled with hidden potential discovered, it is an absolute free board wipe. And if it's not a free, if you don't have hidden potential discovered, depending on how much memory your opponent gives you, you don't have to feel bad about playing it raw because it's for what it does. It's only 5, you know? So if they leave you with 3, or if you have a memory tamer or something out, you know, whatever reason, you're only passing them 2. That's still very great. You know, if they break them like hard to hard cast something, you're still passing them a low amount in exchange for clearing the board. And then it has 13k itself naturally, so it's pretty safe for swinging into security. But yeah, it's an incredible card. Usually you want to have a stack waiting in the raising area, so then once they do like finally make their play, you go for it and then bring it out and just wipe their board. It's a fantastic card. I love Nidhoggmon. And then the star is Hercules Kabutarimon. He has Piercing, and then he also has main Digiburst 2, rest one of your opponent's Digimon. So he's pretty self-sustaining. If you get a stack underneath them, you could Digiburst to rest your opponents 2 times, and then just run over both of them if you have a way to restand. But yeah, just run over both of them. And it is a fantastic mega because of that, because of its self-sustaining and able to run over and also pierce. Because that's the thing, when you want to, when you're trying to control board, you're usually doing it at the cost of attacking security, at the cost of progressing your game state. But this way, you don't have to give anything up. So there is that worry about dying to security, however. But usually, the odds are usually more times in your favor, I feel like, since you're already swinging with a 12k mega. But yeah, Hercules Kabutarimon is amazing because of that. It lets you could, if you get it out fast enough, you can stop your opponent in their middle of their climb. Like maybe they left off at an ultimate, and then you just like wipe it out, and they have to like try again to climb all the way back up. Or if not, you know, if they already have their threat, just get some inheritable DP boosters underneath it. You know, get Modimon and Argomon underneath it and run over some other 12 cost Digimons. No big deal. It's an amazing card. So now we get into the level 7s. So these Digimon are white. So like I said earlier, they don't work for Tantamont's effect. But we do have the 2 Chaosmons. First of all, I'm running 2 of the regular Chaosmon who has Piercing, and then when it Digivolves, you can unsuspend this Digimon. Then this Digimon can attack an opponent's Digimon. This attack can target your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So this is amazing because like if your opponent is trying to play around you and doesn't leave their stuff unsuspended, you can like go into it and then still, if their opponent doesn't leave their stuff suspended, you could go into this guy and still destroy their unsuspended Digimon even though they try to play around you. It is 6 cost appropriately, so I am almost never playing this without hidden potential discovered. But even when I do, I will just typically hope to have a little bit more memory so that I leave them with at least like 3 or 6, you know. But usually you always want to save it. Your big hidden potential discovered plays for this. But it's amazing because like not only do you get to attack the unsuspended Digimon, you get to pierce again. So you know you attack something, arrest it with Hercules Kabutari or Digiburst twice, attack it once with Hercules Kabutari, go into this guy, pierce it again. Or you don't even need to arrest it the second time. You can just pierce with this guy after attacking with Hercules. So he's great because you get to clear board further, and then you still get to check security, and then you got this 14k body on board that your opponent now needs to deal with. It's insane. So I definitely love that Chaosmon. And then we run 1 for a total of 3 level 7s of the Chaosmon and Volder Arm. When Digivolving, activate the following effect twice. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn, and then on deletion gain 3 memory. So this card is amazing because if you get them out fast enough, or you know, if you just time it right in general, this could be a board wipe. You know, if you have 2 ultimates on board your opponent, you could stop them from Digivolving to their Megas by going to this guy and wiping the board with distributing the 7,000 between the 2 of them, you know? Or if you're up against a Mega or a high-level Ultimate or something like that, or high-level Mega or something like that, you can, like Omnimon Ultras, it's Ultras 14k? I don't think it is, right? I think it's also 15k like Omnimon. But yeah, you know, basically if you're up against something that's 14k, you could do both of them minus 7,000 DP to that one Digimon and destroy it. So it doesn't check security, but it does set your opponent back a lot if you time it right and play it right. So it's a fantastic card for that reason, and I love Volder Arm, and I've definitely debated the ratio between these two, but I value the aggressiveness so much in this deck that I just want to clear security as fast as possible while also wiping board. So that's why I like Chaosmon Volder Arm more. But you know, in my testing, I think I may like switch over to Volder Arm just because that board wipe is insane when it goes off, and like if you time it right, it's gonna go off. But yeah, they're both fantastic, and that's definitely your ratio to play with, like whatever you think is better. And you maybe even only run 2 if you really want to, because one of the challenges of this deck is that you do kind of got a lot of top ends here at this point. So I think maybe cutting down 1 Chaosmon and 1 Nidhogg could definitely boost the consistency of this deck a lot. But then my worry is not being able to see anything. But yeah, these are great. I like these ratios. And then, of course, 4 hidden potential discovered. So a lot of people advocate only running 3 because you'll brick. But for me, no. I always want to see hidden potential discovered. Like, it is 4 cards out of a 50-card deck. I want to see this card. I want to see it in my security. So if I'm not drawing into it, oh my god, all my other ones at the bottom of my deck, at the very least, it'll be adding itself to my hand. And I can use it that next turn. Like, I definitely see, like, if you need to start cutting something down, yeah, 3 hidden potentials is totally okay. You could definitely start cutting there. But for me personally, if I can fit the space, which I was able to fit the space into this build, I definitely want to run 4 hidden potentials. So other options. I know a lot of people like Flower Cannon and Needle Spray. Those kind of cards, you know, because they rest your opponent's Digimon, and in security, they rest again. So, I know a lot of people like that, especially coupled with Nidhoggmon, because then you don't have to worry about the first half of it being a 5,000 DPRless Digimon. Like if they're playing around you and not letting their Digimon get suspended, you have that. You could just do that, and then you could go into Nidhogg with Hidden Potential discovered or something. But I don't like running too many options because I feel at this point it would start getting a little bricky. So I would maybe cut down 1 Hidden Potential, 1 Chaosmon, and then maybe run 2 of Needle Spray or something, just for that combo of having Chaos, of having Nidhogg being able to send anything to the bottom of the deck. But that's personal preference. I didn't really feel it came out too much. Like it did its job when it needed to, I felt, most of the time. And then other tech, Lilamon. I know a lot of people really like Lilamon because of its effect. It's amazing. It's just an earlier Hercules Kabutarimon. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. And then when its attacking effect is great. When you have a teamer, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So you can basically get like 2 guys suspended in 1 turn like that. But for me personally, the problem is it is a 3-cost evolution. Green is all value. I do not like giving up a single ounce of value to my opponent. I always want to memory choke them as 1 as much as I can. So while this effect is great to have earlier, because like say you go into Lilamon, it's still your turn, you Digiburst, you can run over their ultimate, so they don't even get a chance to go into Mega. But it's just 3 memory to go into, and I don't run a memory tamer. And I don't plan to, because I really think Mimi just gives up way too much value being 4 cost. So otherwise, you're just hoping to see it in your security. And I just don't want to play like that. Like I would rather know what I'm doing. And Mimi just gives up too much value. I would never play it from hand. So I don't like. I think Mimi's a little overrated personally. I don't like running her. So for that same reason, I don't like running Lilamon because it just gives up so much memory. But it is a good option. Like if you feel like your playstyle suits you better and you can make use of it, definitely running it. And then another option again is also Mega Kabutarimon. This card's awesome because, like, once per turn, your turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trash one of your opponent's security cards. So you don't even reveal it. You don't even have to worry about that security card destroying you. So this card is great. It's fantastic, especially coupled with Chaosmon or Hercules Kabutarimon. They're absolutely insane. But because at that point, like, if you have that in the stack, you could be getting like rid of 3 security in like 1 turn potentially. But again, it's 3 to Digivolve into, and I'm just not willing to give that up when my other ultimates are literally 0 cost. That's a problem with the download package. It's just so good and efficient. And then the last ultimate tech I would like to talk about is Metal Tyrannomon. This card is fantastic in this build because if your Digimon destroys your opponent's level 6 or more Digimon by battle, this Digimon becomes active. So this lets you get more swings with Hercules Kabutarimon, so that's another tech option that's pretty good to run. But again, same thing, that it's just too much more that I like to give up. But this one, I tested this and I definitely considered it running it more than I did Lilamon or Mega Kabutarimon because it's a 2-cost ultimate. So for what it does, I really like this card. But I just felt in my testing this was the most optimal build, and this is what I went with. Okay, I did not expect this video to be already 23 minutes long. That is pretty crazy. So I have some gameplay. The matches were recorded because I was on stream. I will link Nightmare's stream in the description below. So definitely go check it out. Follow him. That's where we'll stream the tournaments in the future. But yeah, this is getting kind of long just for the deck breakdown and deck profile. But I do have some gameplay that Nightmare sent me, saved them from his Twitch VODs. I will review them in separate videos. Fortunately, a lot of games came down to bricks, sadly. So, but a lot of them were good games. So I'll review those. Make it a one large video or a series of videos because my internet's bad, so I can't be uploading giant videos all the time. But yeah, in the next video, I'll definitely break down the duels I had with this deck. I'll probably upload them duel by duel, and then I was hoping to do that here, but this video is getting kind of long. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you have fun using this deck if you want to try it out for yourself. Save it in your back pocket for when we get these cards in English. So until those next videos, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory. See ya.